Hello and welcome everybody to 1992. We have a Ben Hogan bore through metalwood. This is a driver right here. And you know how sometimes people project emotions onto other people? It's like, well, I feel like this way, therefore this other person feels like that, so I'm going to talk to them like they feel the same way I do, okay? I feel like Ben Hogan, for a long time, did that. The company did that with their golf clubs. What would Ben Hogan want? Well, Ben Hogan, like let's take a Wilson JP Persimmon here. Look at all this extra space. He doesn't hit it over here, or up here, or down here. He just hits it right here in the middle. He just hits a little sweet spot this size. That's how big the club should be. Have you seen Ben Hogan striking? It's amazing. One of the best ball strikers ever in the pro. So it's like, look how tiny this is. Let's make the smallest head possible. I don't know. That's why they talk. That's how they talk in Fort Worth, Texas, I guess. I don't know. But let's make it as small as possible because that's what Ben Hogan wants. And that's what consumers want. See this projecting going on here? This is what you want. If you're like Ben Hogan, you're going to want this driver. Sometimes it feels like that, doesn't it? Let's get this tiny little head onto the review table and have a closer look. Under the microscope and have a closer look.
The sole is really the easiest place to identify this. It has the wood number, in this case 1, driver. I've seen other ones that say spoon or something down here. I can't remember exactly, but there are other names for the fairway woods. Ben Hogan silhouette with the Ben Hogan logo, or just the Hogan logo right there. The loft, and you can see it's a bore-through hosel design. Copying other trendy drivers of the time. It has this interesting gray, semi-glossy kind of finish to it. You can see nothing on the toe. There's a white line across the top of the grooves on the face. That's interesting. It seems like nowadays on irons that some companies will put a white line on the bottom groove. Pretty small hosel right here. And you can see at address, the crown has Ben Hogan etched in there. It's not a decal, it's actually etched in there. Good looking, simple, not distracting head. The ferrule has, is that a serial number? Something on there. 2 gold ring ferrule, moves up the stepped shaft to the lovely logo, Apex 4. This is the Hogan branded shaft. I put this on here just to remind me of the year. And we have the lovely Hogan grips. I always love these grips, these vintage grips. I like to see that clubs that retain those even if they're in fossilized condition. So let's get this little beauty out onto the range and see how it does.
Whoa. Where did it go, Dad?
It was a little dry, so it went a little to the left.
That was good, Dad.
Thanks.
Really good. Hey, Dad, I want to.
Unimpeded gumption. Unrestrained enthusiasm. Reckless abandon. Shrimp gumbo. None of those things go through my mind when I'm looking down at this, winding up to hit a golf ball. I do not feel confident at all. It's just, I bite my nails and I'm like, oh dear, this is really small. I'm going to miss the ball completely. Callaway. This came out in 1992. Callaway in 1991 came out with the Big Bertha. S2H2. Short, straight, hollow hosel, right? So they just cut the hosel off and they made it bigger. And Ben Hogan, the company, was like, that's a good idea. We're going to shorten the hosel. So it's not like these big, long Pittsburgh Persimmon hosels. We're going to shorten the hosel, and instead of making it bigger, we're going to shrink it. Because that's what Ben Hogan, he doesn't need all this extra real estate out here. We're just going to make it smaller. Yeah, that's a great idea. We're going to make it longer and smaller until it's almost unhittable, and then put it on sale to the masses. This is a great business plan. And you look, 8 years before. 8 years. Solid persimmon. It's huge compared to this itty bitty little thing. I wonder why Ben Hogan was struggling financially. I don't get it. So this is interesting, and I wanted to make a video about this because it's a snapshot in time. It's like, this is what the Ben Hogan company was thinking here. They're projecting this Ben Hogan idea this feeling of, oh, I can, I'm a perfect ball striker, bring it on, whatever you want. It's more aerodynamic because it's itty bitty. Onto the masses. And I love that. It just cracks me up. I think it's hilarious. So the Ben Hogan bore through metalwood driver absolutely it captures an era. Let me know your thoughts about this driver and others. I mean, Ben Hogan has some of the greatest irons ever as far as I'm concerned. All my opinion. And special thanks to my patrons. I really appreciate your support. If you'd like to join us on Patreon, it's general support. And if you're new, I'll message you and say, hey, would you like your name in the credits? And if you do, I'll put your name in the credits. You can also support this channel by visiting my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Vintage Golfer.